Flæði started in the fall of 2019 when we got a space on Grettisgata 3. It was quite amazing to have around 70 artists come and exhibit in that space for free. And then from there we went to Vesturgata 17 and utilized a hostel that had just closed down during COVID. So we set up workspaces for artists, exhibition space and a ceramic studio. And then now we're in Hafnarhaus on Tryggvagata, where we have a larger ceramic studio.
And Flæði was, in the beginning, also founded with this sort of idea in mind that a lot of the times the Icelandic art scene can feel a bit elitist. It can be very hard to know where to turn, who to know, like what to pay to exhibit. Usually people mainly think you can only exhibit through investing in going to school in the arts or whatnot. And also, what we found in Flæði is that oftentimes information about these things were not really accessible to people that didn't speak Icelandic as a native language.
The necessity of a free exhibition space in Reykjavík to also accommodate all of these minority groups that are in the art scene and really belong in the art scene. So instead of seeing exhibitions from artists that we know and see how they're developing, we're actually also being able to see minority groups that are not being exhibited. So the art scene benefits also greatly. Icelandic materials is something that we often overlook in many ways. There has been a large percentage of companies and institutes that have just been importing materials. So this studio that we have here now in Hafnarhaus is quite focusing on introducing local materials back to the artists. Not only upcycling, reusing, but also actually looking into the potential of materials that we have. Icelandic clay is actually quite an interesting topic since there is a lot of different ideas about it. A lot of people say that there isn't a lot of clay here or that it's not good enough, but after now working and researching it for 5+ years, the Icelandic clay has unique qualities and can become actually quite something amazing, like bricks and tiles and ceramics. So it has quite a lot of potential, but you have to know how to work with it and get to know the material. Flæði has been evolving constantly in a sense where we listen to what is needed in the community.
Where a lot of, like, I think the main focus of Flæði and the key word has always been adaptability, which is something that's been shown again and again with like how many times we've moved houses or we've been without the house, what it means, what the brand itself is.
All the collaborations.
Yeah, and art markets, pop-up events. We do wish to continue with art markets, pop-ups. The ceramic studio has been going really great, and you can see the beautiful demand and curiosity that people have for working with clay and the Icelandic materials and so on. We're also now on the lookout for an exhibition gallery space because we have this pop-up here in Hafnarhaus, made a gallery called White Box.
It's also very interesting to look at unused spaces. So we see maybe an empty space and we see the potential. So Flæði often comes into these spaces, regenerates the spirit and also just paint and set everything up. So the place actually gets higher value and gets more interest since people are coming to these exhibitions that we hold. And accessibility has been a big part, so we're really hoping to have a very accessible space where we can have free exhibitions ongoing.
It was insane, for instance, Grettisgata, where like also there were like one exhibition a new exhibition every 3 days or something.
2 days often.
And it was even less people could exhibit than wanted.
Yeah.
So we definitely saw and were kind of like shocked to see, wow, there's so many artists like looking out to see and like to exhibit, which is only, I think, gonna enrich a culture and society by having this, constant exposure to this beautiful creative mindset that sometimes it's difficult to find space for or pay to show in Reykjavík or in Iceland.
The values of Flæði have always been accessibility, community, and this collaborative aspect kind of plays into it. But We basically want to have a free exhibition space downtown that any artist can apply to access, exhibit, have performances. It's also just to enrich in the culture scene.
The true value of Flæði is the beauty of collaboration and creativity.
The new department of Flæði is Leirflæði or Clay Flæði, and that's located here in Hafnarhús. It's an accessible ceramic studio where we also embrace and hope that people work with local materials. People can come here, expect to be able to fire their objects. And I think that's also such a big part of the Flæði community, is to come together and kind of explore everything that's possible. So this is like an accessible, open ceramic studio where projects, people, teachings, it's all welcome. So again, it's a little bit like who comes with a request, and then we try to form the idea around it with them.